What are some good tips for vlogging? Coming up next from Eugene.
What's up everyone? Today's October 23rd, 2016. So I prepared just like a series of 10 tips for you guys. It's been quite a while since I've started, but again, here are 10 tips on how to vlog, and hopefully this helps. Tip number 1, pretty self-explanatory. It's just to be yourself, just to find your own style and who you are, the audience you're trying to attract. For me, it's kind of more daily personal vlogs, and I'm very open, energetic, and kind of outgoing with people in my vlog. And I know there's great vloggers out there that I watch. Each and every one of them is a bit different. They have their own style, and that's because they're being themselves. But I do want to mention that in the beginning, you might not feel like yourself, and I definitely didn't the first 3 or so vlogs until I got used to the camera being in my face. So until you have that down, it might feel a little awkward, but afterwards, you're gonna really tend to be yourself. Tip number 2. Reason being this is tip number 2 is because I found it really crucial. You gotta ignore everything else. What I mean by that is don't walk into the streets and walk into a car. What I do mean is when you're walking around like this, let me show you how this actually looks in the mirror. When you're walking around like this, people are bound to look at you weird. What I do want to tell you is that it's the 21st century and vlogging is completely normal. There's nothing to be ashamed about it. There's actually something. Oh, hey Josh.
What's up, Eugene?
Vlogging is cool, right?
It's lit.
It's lit. When you start vlogging, in the beginning, it may seem kind of weird and awkward, and people may stare at you and give you kind of looks. You gotta work through it. Even for me, it was kind of a challenge at the start. People would look at you, maybe even laugh. As you go along, you realize that you have an audience watching. Vlogging is not as weird as it may seem to be when you first start. As weird as it looks right now, I promise you, I'm totally used to this, and I'm totally used to talking to a camera. YouTube is just so big and so broad and so vast that you need to find your own audience. There are people that will like your videos and will support you. Ignore everything else. Tip number 3 for how to vlog. This tip is just to help you guys get started. Sometimes when you're starting to vlog, it might be a little bit awkward and you don't really know what to talk about as you're going about your day. Honestly, just focus on things that interest you. For me, it was kind of talking about the gym, about college when I was moving in. Better yet, when you're just starting out to vlog, it's better to talk about or vlog on those days that you have plans already made. Tip number, wait, I can't do this. Tip number 4, this tip is to make quality content when you vlog. I record a lot, so there's a lot of footage that I have to edit and put together. It usually takes a few hours to do. Why are you running away? You know? That's Jared.
Hey everybody.
So it usually takes a few hours, and people really notice if you put work into the vlogs. So make sure you really put in that work. Don't just put any crap together. People will really notice, and good luck with editing, guys. It comes along. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So maybe investing in a camera later on is gonna be better, but making quality content, stuff that's entertaining, is what you wanna get at. Number 5, make sure you look at the lens when you're vlogging, not the screen. Right now I'm looking at the screen and you can see my eyes are elsewhere. Right now I'm looking at the lens. You gotta make it look like you're talking directly to the audience rather to the screen. I'm looking at the screen, I'm looking at the lens again. There's a big difference. Number 6, to record good audio. If you can't hear what the vlogger is saying or whatever's going on in the video, that draws a lot of attention back away from what's going on. Audio is a big must. Wind is probably one of your worst enemies, and noise, outdoor noise. So if you record indoors, it's always easy to manage noise. But if you're outdoors, you gotta be careful with things like the wind, with people, with cars, whatever's going around in your environment. Big tip, I think this is a big tip, that is music. You guys need to incorporate some background music sometimes. It gets really lengthy sometimes when you put in some clips. Again, that's all related to style. But my big suggestion is putting in some music some of the time, some background music. That will play a big difference in your vlogs. It's gonna make it look more professional, appealing, and aesthetic. Where you get this music so you're not copyrighted for your videos, you can get it from SoundCloud. You can actually work with these independent artists, asking them for their permission to use the music, which I've done. That's what I've been doing lately, and all the music you hear on my videos or my vlogs is straight from SoundCloud. This is tip number 7. This tip, guys, is about being consistent. When you're starting up a channel, a vlogging channel especially, it's really tough to just stand out and get an audience that watches your daily vlogs or whatever you're filming. The biggest thing with that is just to be consistent. your uploads may not get a lot of views, and most likely they won't. But why is it so funny? But if you're consistent, you're gonna have more possibility. You're gonna have more of a possibility to gain more attraction. Make sure you continually upload, and that will definitely promote your channel in the future. Tip number 8, it's about recording more than you actually need. I'm sorry if it's awfully loud over here. Record more footage than you actually need for the vlog, because that way when you're actually editing and putting it all together, you'll have enough footage to work with, rather than when you're making a movie and there's not enough footage. So you always want to have more footage than less, because that's going to be something you can work with later in the future. Tip number 9. This tip is about getting personal. A lot of my favorite YouTubers, or the big YouTubers on YouTube that are vloggers, actually they don't just keep it very broad. I see it, John. They actually get personal a lot. They bring you into their lives. They bring you home. They kind of show their family. There's a lot of personality into it. I think it just brings a lot more depth into the vlog. And so this tip is just getting personal. Here's the 10th tip. Finally, guys, when you're vlogging, make sure to never forget to have fun while you're doing it. Once you get comfortable with vlogging, don't forget to have fun. Am I right?
Yes.
Alright guys, well that's the end of this vlog. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Give it a like if you found these tips helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys in the next vlog. And if this little how-to or tips for vlogging wasn't your style video, I'll be back to my normal video next time, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace. So I just ran into the store, and there was this really tiny drone, maybe if not the world's tiniest drone right here. I mean, this thing is really, is this the tiniest drone? I haven't seen anything smaller than this before.